Hey, man, do you want to know the real secrets to mixing? The ones that the engineers ain't going to tell you about, that the other YouTubers just don't know about? Not Victoria's secret. I'm talking about that G14 classified information. I got it all right here, baby. Let's talk about it. What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel, or welcome for the first time. I'm Wavy Wayne from Wavy.wav. And if you don't know, this is a safe place where we help you to record and mix better and faster. So hit that subscribe button, and more importantly, share this with a friend, because you know what? The more that you share, the more that we grow and we all learn together. The world is just going to sound better one share at a time. So the secrets of mixing, man. There are really some secrets to mixing. That's why there's some top level mixers out there, and why, you know, when you just getting started, it's so hard to wrap your head around everything that's going on in the mix. Well, I'm going to give you the real secrets that I know today. And no, this ain't going to be about tweaking an EQ. This ain't gonna be about the perfect compressor settings. These are the real intellectual secrets that's gonna get you to think about your mixes in the proper way, so you can execute them in the proper way, and then you can be mixing in the proper way. Yeah. Because if you know these secrets, then your mixes ain't gotta be secrets no more. You know what? Let's just get down to it. But know one thing, I'm gonna save the very most bestest secret for last. So make sure y'all stick around to the end of the video, watch the whole thing, and catch all of these secrets. The first rule that I'm going to say, the secret to mixing, to a great mix, is a great composition, right? A lot of mix engineers ain't going to tell you this. The recording engineers, they ain't going to tell you this. The artists ain't going to tell you this, because they don't even think about this, right? When you think about the top level songs that you hear and how great they sound mixed, it's because the composition is perfect as well, right? You're working with the top producers, the top recording engineers, the top arrangers, the top songwriters, right? Having all of that come together perfectly is going to make the mix automatically work together. Now, hear me out. I get mixes all the time with 4, 5, 6 piano tracks. I ain't never seen a band with 8 pianos in it. Why it's got to be 8 piano tracks when I go to mix your song? Why you got 13 hi-hat tracks in your beat? See, you clouding up the composition with 16 guitar tracks, and that's going to make it impossible to mix. See, we trying to jam stuff together that shouldn't go together, and it's making it too hard. Think about how, like, mixing, think about it like you cooking. If you got too many ingredients, it's going to be trash. If you have just the right amount of what you need, you can make a delicious, beautiful dish. So the first thing that I want y'all to consider, the first secret of mixing, is to make sure that your compositions are actually working for you. Make sure that the beat, the music, the instruments are complementing the vocals, that the vocal style complements that instrumental bed that you want to put the vocal onto. Make sure that when you are making your decisions as a producer, that you're not adding 14 kick drums that's all fighting for the same space. And then we got 48 percussion tracks all fighting for the same space. It's a real reason why when you look at a band on the stage, we got a drummer, we got a bass player, we got a keyboard player, we got a guitar player, we got a singer. Now, there might be a couple extra sprinkles here and there, but that's it. That's what we need, is to think about covering the frequency spectrum, right? Every instrument, every element that we add in our mix is going to have a place in that mix. So if you are overproducing, if you're overwriting, you're adding too many background vocals, too many doubles, too many stabs, too many damn hi-hat tracks, your mix ain't going to come together like you think it is, all right? So that's the first thing. Second thing, start mixing before you ever hit record. That's the secret. Let that sink in for a second. Turn to the side and say, damn, Wavy, what do you mean by that? Let that sink in, though. Start mixing before you hit record. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean, choose the proper composition like we just talked about. But then on top of that, make sure that if you're recording instruments, right, make sure that the guitar is tuned. Make sure that the drums are tuned. Make sure that your microphones are placed properly. Make sure that your room is acoustically treated properly. Make sure that you choose a nice microphone and preamp pairing that works for the style of music that you are trying to create, right? These things, we are making sonic decisions before we ever hit record. Don't wait until you have all these tracks recorded before you start making your sonic decisions, right? Mix it before you hit record. And you can do that with those things I just listed. Proper microphone choice, proper microphone placement, proper preamp choice and placement, making sure that your instruments are tuned up, making sure your vocalist is singing in key. Those elements, and there's more. Y'all can drop down. What else can we do to make sure that we are making sure that our room is properly treated and we ain't got a whole bunch of background noise and reflections happening? Man, that is mixing before we ever hit record. And that honestly is going to yield you so much better results than trying to EQ anything, right? I don't want to be sitting here EQing stuff. I want to record the sound that I want to keep. By the time I hit record, I want the record to sound like 90% of where I want to take it once my mix should take me the last 10%. The recording process, the composition, and the choice of instruments, the choice of everything else that I just mentioned is going to be the 90%. The mixing is 10%. That's the secret. See, y'all putting too much on mixing, not enough on your recording, not enough on your preparation, not enough on your production. And we leaning too heavily on the mixing. So that's another thing, man. Another principle here that we're going to talk about is that we got to remember that as an engineer, a mix engineer, recording engineer, specifically mixing engineers, because we talking about mixing. If you're mixing for someone else, you have to remember that you're getting paid to mix the song and bring your sonic expertise to it, not your opinion about whether you like it or not. Your goal is to meet and exceed the client's expectations and deliver them a product that is polished, that is balanced, that works for what application they want to use it for. So we are working for our clients. We're not working for ourselves when we're mixing someone else's song. We have a boss, and the boss, honestly, is the music. So first and foremost, we need to serve the music. Do what the music is asking. And in doing that, you will keep the integrity of what the client wants and make sure and get feedback, right? That feedback process is super important. Hey, what do you think of this choice? I want to try this. Let me know what you think of that. That feedback process, that collaborative process of working with your client and remembering that it's all about us fulfilling their dreams, right? It's not mixing ain't a self-fulfilling prophecy. It's you fulfilling someone else's dream. And that's okay. It's okay to be a servant to the music, to the client. Jesus was a servant. Hallelujah. All right, I digress. Let's go to one more. And this is my most important topic right here that I want y'all to know as mixing engineers. Is to stop being proactive in the studio when you mixing. Don't be proactive. Now, what do I mean by that? Because every other area of your life, everybody say, you got to be proactive. You got to do this. You got to do that. Don't be proactive in the studio. Be reactive. Again, you got to feel that right there in that jawbone, man. Let that one sink in. Don't be proactive on the mix. Be reactive to the mix. Now, what does that mean, Wavy? That means instead of just watching a tutorial and coming in, oh, I'm going to try this plugin just because I got this plugin, that's being proactive. Being reactive is listening to what the music is telling you, listening to the vibrations coming out of your studio monitors, listening to what's happening in that room and reacting to get to the goal that you want to get to, right? Don't just be like, oh, I'm going to make this thing fit in this box. No, react to what you're hearing. Constantly react to what you are hearing is the most important lesson that any mix engineer can learn and understand. And when you really understand that your job is to react to what you are hearing, your mixes are going to get done faster. You're going to find yourself doing less. You're going to find yourself making your clients happier. You're going to be happier. Because instead of just trying to proactively do all this stuff that you keep hearing about on the internet, just doing it all. You learn those tools. Those tools are great. And I teach y'all these tools not for you to go into your mix and be proactive on them. I teach y'all these tools so that you can then learn them deeply ingrained in your brain. And when you need it, it can just pop up there. Like, oh, I hear this coming at me. I have a tool that I know can change this and make this into something that we want it to be, right? Be reactive in the studio. React to what you're hearing, and your mixes will come out a whole hell of a lot better, man. I'm Wavy Wayne from Wavy.wav. Y'all drop down in the comments and let me know if there's any other secrets to mixing that y'all want to share. It ain't that hard. Just react. Be dope.